Welcome back, brothers and sisters. We are green. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, and how we're going to fix both of those bad boys together. Guys, the ATF just got a helping hand with their marketing department to show you the history, how important they are, all the things that they do on a daily basis to keep us cozy and safe under our blankets of security provided by the state, and also the terrors and horrors that are going to happen if they continue to be on the chopping block like they are with the funding cuts, with the, oh, guys. You're going to love every second of this because Giffords.org is full on taking the marketing for them. You're going to love every second. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. Make sure we are good with audio and video, and we should be good to go. Excellent. Everything is always linked. I bring all the receipts. All right. It is a Thursday night, so we got to get right into the goodness here because I don't want to waste y'all's time ever, which is why I always bring the receipts. We're going to jump over to my X profile. This is at Braden LOA. Make sure you follow me over there because we're trying to build that as a supplementary piece to this YouTube channel. At Braden LOA. Check it out. It's linked in the description. But let's get into this because, you know, the ATF doesn't have the best reputation. We could say it. I feel comfortable. But Giffords.org. Now, Giffords.org is a gun controlling group started by Gabby Giffords. They're one of the big four now that March for Our Lives is pretty much non-existent. There were five, but that one kind of went away like a teenager. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, also known as the ATF, is the primary federal agency that exists to stop gun crime. Right now, it's under attack, and here's what you need to know. Guys, when I clicked on this, I expected a little short sheet of, they're great, other people are bad. No, it is a full litany of how good they've been, their origins of where they've come from, what they're going to do in the future, what they've accomplished in last term. Guys, this is a full-on syllabus of why we need them around from the gun controllers. Okay, let's just keep on going because this is comical. When you see the gun controllers afraid of losing their toy this badly, yeah, watch. All right. So, what is the ATF? Okay, we got two things here. One, Giffords.org supporters and their grassroots support doesn't know what the ATF is, and yet they're all about gun control. Okay, they're doing it wrong. The other one is, what is the ATF? Then their followers just don't simply know what they're asking for. Okay, let's keep going. I got a few things highlighted for you. Now, of course, we've got to start off with the basics. You always have to start off with the basics. Inform the people who want tyranny from the government down onto the Second Amendment. Make sure you at least know the government agency that you're going to leverage to do it. Because if you don't know who's going to do it, like that's not helpful. Anyway, let's keep going. There's the basics. Let's jump down here. I've got a few highlighted points for you because I genuinely thought this was hilarious. The ATF typically operates with fewer special agents than the Washington, D.C. Police Department has sworn law enforcement officers. Now, you're going to pick up a theme here in a second, and they hit on it later. But the reason that the ATF doesn't have 10 bagajillion agents is because they are an agency that is being watched by Congress. It's not just folded in underneath the FBI or underneath the DEA. Hint, hint. When you do that and it's separated out on itself, you can actually focus on what it's doing, so it's got a lot of scrutiny on it. Right? That's the whole point. You can cut the funding, you can cut the agent counts, you can cut all of it. That's why they're doing this, because they want their favorite little toy to keep going. Now, let's dive into the history of the ATF. And by the way, it's the weirdest thing, guys. They don't mention anything like the Fast and Furious or Ruby Ridge. They don't, or Wake. I mean, like none of it. It's weird how they just, the history, you'd think you'd include all of it, but you don't. Let's keep going. The ATF has been severely underfunded and understaffed for years, making it nearly impossible to do its job properly. As well as making it very susceptible to outside pressure. Now, this is an important one. The outside pressure is how groups like these guys, GOA, or used to be the NRA, or FPC, or NAGR, that's the way that they keep the thumb on the pulse of what's going on, because the ATF is an outside agency. It's an individual executive bureaucracy up to itself. That's a benefit because we can focus on every single thing they're doing line item by line item and raise awareness to it through channels like this one. Now, making it very susceptible to outside pressure. That's exactly what they're talking about in this article. They're talking about the fact that you and I can have a conversation in a moment's notice, and then you can spread it out amongst all your social media, and everyone knows what unscrupulous activity the ATF is taking at the behest of the gun controllers. That's the whole point. Anyway, the gun lobby saw an opportunity to influence the agency and jumped in, guiding its focus and enforcement of laws. Over time, and thanks to a lack of leadership and transparency, the ATF came to act as a partner to rather than an overseer of the gun industry. Because after all, you wouldn't want to work well with the people you're regulating. You want to put your thumb on their souls, right? That's the whole point. They want to make it look and shade it like the ATF can't work with the gun industry at all because that is bad. Because you can't have a conversation. You just have to destroy them. That's the entire point. Now let's keep going. A big part of this shift was due to the agency's lack of senior leadership. For most of its history, the ATF operated under the Treasury Department. You know, it's funny that they mentioned the Treasury Department because they left out a pretty important thing. You know why this department was under the Treasury Department? Yeah, because they collected taxes for rights, which is unconstitutional by a sitting Supreme Court decision. So, yeah, it was under the Treasury Department, but they didn't bring that whole thing with the NFA or the Gun Control Act. None of that, right? No, just lack of senior leadership. See how they pick and choose and they cherry pick? This is why you guys are on it all the time, because you know all this stuff that they aren't telling you here. And if you don't, that's why we talk about it. Let's keep going. But in 2006, the NRA lobbied for what Congress, I just said like 8 words wrong. But in 2006, the NRA lobbied for and Congress enacted a new law requiring the ATF director to be nominated by the president and confirmed by the Senate, injecting politics into an agency that should be concerned with public safety. More on that in a second. After this law was passed, the gun lobby succeeded in defeating a number of well-qualified nominees to lead the agencies, even referring to their nominations as reckless betrayal. The industry hopes that installing allies at the ATF will mean less accountability and higher profits. Completely incorrect and pretty close to slander. But anyway, let's get back to the other part. Injecting politics into an agency? Guys, I'm sorry, flag on the play. Everytown for Gun Safety, Giffords.org, and Brady literally run the actual lawsuits against people for their gun rights, assailing them and basically saying that we're going to sue you if you have stored a gun incorrectly. We're going to sue you for insurance purposes. All those things are run by the gun controllers themselves. But injecting politics into how dare we? These people are so disingenuous. Let's keep going. Now we get into the ATF's uncertain future, and I get a little more narration because it's more fun. All right. In January, that's this January, House Republicans introduced Abolish the ATF Act in an attempt to eliminate the agency and the oversight of the gun industry. In February, as part of a flurry of nominations, Trump installed his new FBI Director Kash Patel as acting director of the ATF. Patel, a conspiracy theorist with ties to extreme gun rights organizations, has no experience in public safety and is a dangerous choice to run this agency, even temporarily. The ATF's uncertain future. Yeah, gun theory or conspiracy theorists with ties to extreme gun rights organizations. It literally says shall not be infringed, and they say no compromise on shall not be infringed. Gun owners of America. That's the hat I'm wearing. What? Guys, this is what they try to do. They try to say all the helpful things and paint it in a rosy picture while leaving out massive things that we just talked about. And then they create a boogeyman, effectively, by GOA saying that the ATF is going to be destroyed, but rush that donation. Why? It's coming. It's coming. All right. If Congress continues to cut funding and authority at the ATF, there will no longer be a federal agency overseeing some of the deadliest products in America. The ATF will once again be unusually vulnerable to the gun industry's influence and could refuse to enforce this nation's gun laws, putting every American at risk. Fear, get fear. We know that when it comes to guns, without even the concept of oversight from a federal agency, the industry will do everything it can to increase its profits, no matter the cost to public safety. We cannot let this happen. Demonization. Identify your target, isolate your target, demonize your target, destroy your target. Saul Alinsky. That is literally what these people do through Giffords.org, Every Time We're Gun Safety, Brady, all of them. They are trying to put us out on this extreme corner of conspiracy theorists and far right extremists. And it's so crazy and insane that they would want to follow a literal amendment to the Constitution. Yeah, they're extremists. Not us for taking all your gun rights. No, 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 no. They're the extremist. Guys, they are so worried about their pet project of the ATF getting taken away that they are willing to write marketing pieces. Literally, if you're just now tuning in, let's go to the top again. What is the ATF? A primer on infringement, the basics, the history, and wouldn't you know it, the uncertain future because of the demons over there holding on to their guns, their Bibles, and their religion. Yeah, little Obama quote for you there. But guys, this is what we're dealing with right here. They are terrified and they are scared crapless. And the reason that I do this video is because you've put them in this position. You have the ability to keep fighting, keep grinding, keep going. You've got them writing marketing pieces trying to build up to their followers why the ATF needs to stay around for their own power. That is something to hang your hat on, and have a lovely evening while you do it. I will see you guys tomorrow where we continue the march forward for freedom. I hope you enjoyed this content, and I will see you on the next time.